Okay, I'm pleased to bring Michael Vickerman, our Program and Policy Director, up to the stage. You all know Michael. He's been a tremendous advocate for renewables for 23 years in this state. And I think we should give him a round of applause just for that.
Definitely turning into one of the graybeards of the renewable energy cause. Thank you very much for that introduction, Tyler. I'm just so pleased to be a part of what has been the best yet of our energy policy summits. Let me start by saying, though the awards were started last year, I really think that they have developed into a signature event for Renew as part of this presentation. And part of the reason is in this troubling political climate we find ourselves in, it's really important to identify the bright spots that have that pop up in spite of some pretty strong headwinds. And that's one of the reasons why I enjoy this part of the policy summit. There are actually, I think, 3 reasons why we should have this event. The first one is because it's a nice excuse to organize a pictorial tour of Wisconsin's renewable energy landscape without leaving the comfort of our chairs on a cold January day. All right, so I mean that's kind of a superficial reason, but I have been to a solar field in January, taking pictures of it, and it was one of the coldest experiences of my life. The second is, I think this is our one opportunity to recognize those companies and organizations that have taken great strides in putting their energy house to order, using Matt Howard's phrase from this morning. And that is clearly an accomplishment that we need to take stock of. And the third reason is because in presenting the images of the projects and honoring the people who brought them to fruition, we also reinforce the passion that we bring to our work, and we also remind ourselves of the promise of clean energy. So with that, I'd like to get started here, but I want to point out a few changes that have occurred since last year. There are a few new wrinkles to our honor roll. The first is, you'll see that we have a couple of hydro projects this year to recognize. This is the first time that's happened in one of our policy summits. In fact, we have 2 hydro projects. The second is that we're actually recognizing electric providers as well. This is the first time we've done that. Some of the electric providers actually either own or sponsored projects a couple of the projects that we're recognizing. The third is, this is the first year too that we're recognizing community solar, because this is the first year that we've seen community solar projects pop up around the state. And I'd like to point out that there are actually multiple variations of community solar, and we actually have 2 that we're spotlighting. The first is the utility-sponsored solar garden, such as the Vernon electric cooperative array that was talked about this over lunch by Joe McDonald. And the second is a little more locally, a neighborhood, contractor-driven neighborhood install. And they're the city of Milwaukee and Black River Falls have presented examples of the contractor-driven neighborhood model. So let's get started. The procedure will be this. I'll flash an image, 2 images of the project, and I'll call out the name of the project and the people involved, and I'll ask them to stand. And then when then I'll walk over here and put a sticker on the Wisconsin map indicating its location. And we have 16 projects to recognize, amounting to almost 6 megawatts worth of renewable energy capacity. And I want to point out that was the only generating capacity built in the state of Wisconsin this year. All of it was renewable, as it turns out. Isn't that interesting? All right, so first up, one biogas project is Sunnyside Dairy. It's owned by Gunderson Health System, 633 kilowatts. Jeff Rich from Gunderson and Vision is responsible or connected to the project. And so thank you, Jeff. Another image. Next up, Angelo Dam, a 205 kilowatt hydro facility started operating this year, owned by Western Technical College, and in Monroe County. Representing Western Technical College is Paul Ambor. Paul? Reconstruction of Kaukauna Utilities, a Badger Hydro facility. And in the process, Kaukauna Utilities added 2.8 megawatts worth of generating capacity. So it's now a 7 megawatt facility. Here's a lovely aerial shot. Representing Kaukauna Utilities is Jeff Felt, General Manager. Okay, moving now to solar. We have an example of a utility solar project. That is Dairyland Power's 517 kilowatt facility, which is located at the Vernon Electric Cooperative's headquarters. If you recall the photo from lunchtime, they're actually within a tenth of a mile of each other, maybe 150 yards apart. And when we dedicated, when they cut the ribbon to the Vernon Electric project, it was actually in front of Dairyland's array. And that was Bill Berg that was standing in front of the array there giving the dedication. Representing Dairyland Power Cooperative is Brian Rood. Next up is the Vernon Electric Cooperative Array, which was the first, it still is, the first community solar project built and commissioned in the state of Wisconsin. It was dedicated on June 25th, and representing Vernon Electric is Joe McDonald and Dave Maxwell. So here is an example of a neighborhood project. This is a standalone array. It's built in Black River Falls and is owned by the Ho-Chunk Nation, and it sits on reservation land there. And the Ho-Chunk facility consists of 45 systems amounting to 158 kilowatts. It was all installed by one company, Photovoltaic Systems, Inc. And I hope he made it, representing Photovoltaic Systems company is Jim Kerbel. Is Jim here? All right. There are a couple of people who found the snow rather tough going, and I'm sure he was one. What? Our other example of a neighborhood project is the Bayview neighborhood. This was the second of the Milwaukee Shines neighborhood group purchase initiative, and it started in the spring of 2014. They finished their last system right around the time of the Renew Bicycle Ride fundraiser, which happened in late September. All told, there were 38 systems installed, amounting to 136 kilowatts in total. The contractor is Arc Electric. Representing Arc Electric is Ed Sinkever, Chris Merkline, and Jen Simons. The second solar garden that we're going to recognize is called Sunflower One, which was organized by St. Croix Electric Cooperative. It went online, I believe, in July, so about a month after Vernon's array. It's 103 kilowatts. I don't believe that there's anybody from St. Croix Electric Cooperative here, but we still want to recognize that achievement too. The third solar garden sponsored by a utility is community raised from Barron Electric Cooperative. Now, as we remember from Joe McDonald's talk, it's not just simply a matter of finding a location near the utility headquarters building and building an array. You have to find the subscribers too, as is the case with St. Croix. And Barron Electric managed to sell out its 100 kilowatt array, and this project was installed by Car Creek Electric from nearby. And so representing Barron is Dallas Sloan, General Manager, and is Chris Jarash in the room? No? Okay, Chris Jarash is from Car Creek. Thank you. So from here we move on to individually owned solar electric systems. Oh, I'm so sorry. Falling behind on the sticker. Really a two-person job. Okay, so next up is a 100 kilowatt array on top of Asylum, which is a brewer of such wonderful beers as Hopalicious and Benedictine. This 100 kW system was installed by Sun Peak Solar, a relatively new company here in Madison, and representing Sun Peak Solar is Chad Sorensen.
Is Maitri here? Maitri? Lincoln?
Is Lincoln Tice here? All right. Next are a quartet of installations done by Eland Electric in and around the Green Bay area. The first one is AMI, which is located in Suamico. It's 175 kilowatts. And all of these projects, I believe, were supported by Focus on Energy funds, the RECIP program. So I'm just going to run through all four and ask Rick Eland and Jesse Mikulski to stand up, because they were responsible for this project and this one, Astro Industries, which is just a couple blocks away from their office in Green Bay, also 113 kilowatts. Griffin Industries. This is actually, Griffin is in Suamico, and AMI is in Howard. Also 113 kilowatts. Oops. Come on. And last, Sisters of St. Francis of the Holy Cross. This project went up in April last year, and it was a lovely Earth Day celebration of that. Also 113 kilowatts. Representing Eland Electric are Jesse Mikulski and Rick Eland. Okay, about a quarter of a mile away from Asylum is Dane County Airport, and Dane County obtained funds to install a 100 kilowatt solar array on a brand new maintenance facility, which was dedicated in September. The system was installed by Energy Concepts. Craig Tarr was the lead contractor. Representing Dane County is Lisa McKinnon, the Sustainability Director. Also in Dane County, north into Middleton, is a new solar array that greatly expands the original 20 kilowatt system there. This is Holy Wisdom Monastery, and it's right on the edge of Middleton. It's now 146 kilowatts in capacity. The array was designed in part by Hoffman Corporation and also installed by H&H Solar of Madison. Representing Hoffman is Mark Hansen. Representing H&H are Chris Collins and Adam Gussie. Who are probably both in the hall. Yes. All right. Next up is Milwaukee Public Museum. This project was built in August and September of this year. This is actually a very interesting example of built-in building integrated photovoltaics. It's actually the panels are affixed to a new marble cladding that was put up in the south side of the facility. The contractor for this project was Convergence Energy. Representing Convergence Energy is John Kivlin and Steve Johnson. Also involved in the project did the actual installation work was Arc Electric, Ed Zindler, Chris Merkline, and Jen Simons. And the panels. The panels were made by Helios Solar Works in Milwaukee, representing Helios, which is about ready to resume production again. Representing Helios is Steve Ostrenga. There's Steve. Come on in, Steve. Well, that was our final 2014 honor roll project, so I would ask everybody who is connected with our honor roll to please stand up, and everybody else give them a hand. Job well done. We are going to present 4 awards to people and organizations who richly deserve these honors. The first award will be given to Gunderson Health System. As we saw earlier this afternoon, Gunderson achieved an incredible milestone earlier this year in October when it announced that the renewable energy projects, conservation measures, and cogeneration systems that it invested in accounted for 100% of all their facilities, and their facilities extends into 3 states. They're certainly the first healthcare network in the nation to have achieved such a lofty goal. So, Renew is proud and pleased to present the Energy Independent Enterprise of the Year Award to Gunderson Health System for outstanding leadership and effective implementation of a corporate campaign to greatly reduce fossil fuel use by a large healthcare network spanning 3 states and 19 counties. 6 years in the making, Gunderson's significant investments in conservation, cogeneration, local clean power in Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Iowa now offset 100% of the energy consumed by all of its facilities. And we're glad that Jeff Rich came down and stayed with us to receive this award. The next award will go to Eland Electric Corporation. 5 years ago, I never heard of Eland, but Eland has made a tremendous mark in the solar energy marketplace with its enterprising use of incentives and its very successful courting or recruitment of solar customers. It has become one of the leading solar installers actually in the Midwest. And so, Renew is pleased to present the Renewable Energy Business of the Year Award to Elan Electric Corporation of Green Bay for designing and bringing to fruition a portfolio of large and small solar electric projects totaling nearly 1 megawatt of generation capacity, serving a variety of Northeast Wisconsin customers, including manufacturers, healthcare providers, religious communities, tribal entities, small businesses, and homeowners. Accepting this award for Elan is Jesse Mikulski, the director of their solar division. Our next honorees unfortunately could not be with us today, being the victims of an early January snowstorm. Apparently the drive was very treacherous from Eau Claire and other parts of western Wisconsin. The award is going to Steve and Ellen Terwilliger. And the achievement really started with our previous summit. They came down from Eau Claire and attended the summit and were really jazzed by what they saw, and they thought, there's so much good information imparted here, but we're the only ones who came down from Eau Claire, or there are not many of us. Let's think about bringing replicating something like that, or doing the same thing in Eau Claire, which is a little tucked away in the northwest corner of the state. So starting from scratch, they went about organizing a solar conference, one-day event in the campus of the Chippewa Valley Technical College, and through their group, Transition Eau Claire, they organized a conference that drew nearly 200 people to the technical college on a November Saturday, and everyone who attended the conference thought this was a great thing, and they're planning yet another conference. This is actually the Wisconsin Farmers Union is organizing a one-day solar event in Eau Claire. It's set to happen 2 weeks from today, and I'm going to be speaking there, and I'll have an opportunity to present to the Terwilligers their award and show them that the cycle continues. So let's give a hand to Steve and Ellen Terwilliger and thank them for their good work. Our last recipient is Matt Newman. We created a new category this year, Renewable Energy Champion of the Year. And really for the past 365 days, starting with the Renewable Energy Summit last year, Matt's been an outstanding and effective voice for making the business case for renewable energy, leveling the playing field, removing the barriers to competition, and enterprising businesses. His advocacy is done not only through talks to audiences like these, but also op-ed pieces to the Milwaukee Journal, like the one you see there, talk radio, public radio. His business intervened in the We Energy's rate case, and we heard him again today. We're really so fortunate to have such an eloquent voice making the business case for rational renewable energy policies and letting the solar marketplace fulfill its promise to the state. So Renew is pleased to present Renewable Energy Champion of the Year to Matt Newman. Let's give a hand to our 4 award winners, as well as to everybody else. We have to create the bright spots for renewable energy in Wisconsin in 2014. Thank you very much.